What's up, Bass Bandits? Bass are acting super strange right now, and we're going to break down exactly why. We've got a major storm system, shifting seasonal patterns, and some insane tournament action to cover. Every week, we track the weather, seasonal patterns, and tournament trends to help you make better fishing decisions. Whether you're chasing those pre-spawn giants, figuring out if your lake is thawing, or adjusting to post-frontal conditions, we've got you covered. All right, looking at our map from earlier in the week, everything has shifted even farther north than it has since we videoed last. These storms passed all the way through and are out. We're going to have a couple systems moving through. We still have these two tournaments going on. But the whole state of Nebraska for sure is ice-free. So you can pretty much draw a line straight across here. And you know that's where you're going to be fishing. So we're not far off from having the entire country open. I know these northern areas are going to take a little bit of time, but we'll get there. Everybody will be fishing before you know it. These pre-spawn areas are definitely moving up into Tennessee. There's definitely some pre-spawn action happening up here, and also into North Carolina, northern Arkansas, and into Oklahoma. So I know you guys are looking for that pre-spawn bite. If you're living up here, just head south and you can find it, catch the biggest bass of your life. All right, looking at our tournaments, this is the BPT at Lake Murray. Jeff Sprague dominated the knockout, or the opening round here, with 122 pounds over 2 days. Insane. Had almost a 7-pounder for a big bass. Really, really awesome performance by him. And then, as you can see, our regular guys are in this. Jacob Wheeler's right here, Brian Thrift, Drew Gill. So, should be a pretty interesting weekend. Tune in to MLF.com to watch that. It's going to be a really good tournament for the rest of the weekend. Over in the NPFL, they are at Santee Cooper Lakes, and yesterday was canceled as predicted because of the wind. But today they put on an absolute performance. Jordan Osborne with 33 pounds, 1 ounce. Unbelievable. You had 3 bags in this tournament over 30 pounds for the first day. Jason Christie sitting right up there. The guy's a hammer. You got Patrick Walters, Andrew Upshaw. Shout out to Andrew Upshaw on that. That's a great bag, 27 pounds. But tons of big bags. 20 pounds didn't even barely get you in the money in this tournament. So Santee Cooper showing out like we thought it was. It's only going to get better through the weekend, guys. So tune into NPFL.com if you want to check out that tournament. All right, I just wanted to jump over to this Toyota Series tournament that's going on at Sam Rayburn. There's a couple of big names in it. You have Dakota Ebert sitting at the top of the leaderboard with 61 pounds and an ounce. That is insane. That is an average of over 30 pounds a day. And then you have Lee Livesay, caught a 34-pound, 11-ounce bag. He didn't follow it up today very well, but he's still right there in the top 4. And then, as usual, you have Todd Castledine right down here. Shout out Todd Castledine. Guy's a hammer on Rayburn. So, once again, this lake is prime right now. This tournament's awesome. You can catch it over on MLF.com also. All right, guys, before we jump into our weather, I just wanted to shout out to everybody that's been following and liking the videos. It's been an awesome response. We're going to keep doing this. If you love fishing and you love weather and the combination of the two, definitely subscribe. We're trying to go for 500 subscribers. That's our first goal. So click the subscribe button right now if you guys love what we're doing, and we're going to reach that goal before you know it. Let's get on to the weather. All right, looking first nationwide at our precipitation map. We do have this low pressure system that's sitting right over the Great Plains right now, and it did bring some snow into these areas in Nebraska, South Dakota. Nothing major, maybe like 5 or 6 inches in northern Nebraska. Good to have the moisture. This is just going to move east, and it's basically just going to peter out. It's going to snow a little bit, maybe a little bit of rain up in these areas, but nothing crazy. And then we have our next system brewing right here, and this is going to come for the weekend, and this is going to be your rainmaker snow. We're actually going to see some snow from this right there in the Texas Panhandle and the Oklahoma Panhandle. They will see some snow, but it'll pretty much melt right away because it's warm enough to where that isn't going to stick. But you're going to see some storms out of this. Nothing too severe. Mostly just some thunder, rain, maybe a little bit of wind. And this is going to push east. And then as it moves into Florida, there is a risk, a very, very slight risk. You might see some tornadoes out of these. But the main thing is here, guys that are fishing South Carolina, those tournaments on Sunday, you're definitely going to see some rain. But shouldn't interrupt the fishing. Definitely should be able to still be out there. Just going to see a lot of rain ponchos on. Probably will help the bite, actually. So should see some topwater action, some power fishing. So super excited to see what this rain does for the tournaments. But if you're fishing in the southeast at all this week, just bring a poncho because you're probably going to get rained on. The rest of the country, you're pretty much going to stay dry. Maybe up in this far northwest, you're going to see some rain, maybe some snow, and then also in the far northeast, a little bit of snow. But the rest of the country is pretty dry. So let's look at our temperatures. All right, this is our temperature anomaly map for today right now. And the south is looking fantastic. I know my brother lives down near Dallas, and he said it was 85 degrees today, which is awesome. And then up here, we're sitting, it's a little bit chilly where I'm at in Nebraska. And then in the southeast, it is a little bit cooler because that storm system moved through. And as that pushes out, though, this warm weather is going to move in through the weekend, which is going to be great. As you can see, the storm, or the warm weather pushes east. A little bit of cold air moving into the west here. But anyway, that's fishing down here is going to have great weather for Saturday. And then on Sunday, should be pretty much average. Maybe a little bit of cool air in here. But for the most part, and then we're looking at pretty much average or right above or right below average temperatures for the whole country. So everybody's looking great. And then North Dakota's got a big, huge shot of warm air coming in that should melt some ice. So guys I know that are ice fishing up there are probably disappointed, but the guys that love to open water fish are getting excited. So next week we are looking at a big warm-up. So you're going to want to tune in on Tuesday for the weekly video because there's going to be some awesome weather for fishing next week, and we do have a full moon. All right, let's look a little bit regionally here at the south and the southeast for this storm that's going to be moving through. Saturday here, this storm's going to come over the Rockies, and it's just going to form right over the Panhandle of Texas. And like I said, you're going to get a little bit of snow in here off this, but mostly it's just going to be rain and some thunderstorms, especially as it pushes east. This line will form right out in front of it, and it's going to suck up some moisture out of the Gulf and make some nice thunderstorms, bring a lot more rain, some muddy water for you guys that are fishing. And then that's just going to push out east through Sunday. It's going to be a pretty quick-moving storm, so shouldn't mess you up too bad, but it is going to bring some rain and some muddy waters and some winds to you guys. All right, looking at our winds in this region, definitely a windy day from the south out there today in this area, Texas, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Louisiana. And then as this moves out, you're going to have some north breeze move in. It's not going to be terribly strong. Maybe in some areas you have 20 to 30 up in here, but all this green is 10 to 20, so nothing you haven't dealt with in that area before. And then moving through Sunday, kind of the same story. Kind of just a breezy weekend, but nothing that should keep you off the water. You guys should be out there fishing, hitting that pre-spawn bite. I know in Lake Fork, I saw your Lake Fork guide had posted on Instagram that there's some fatties being caught right now. So definitely get out and fish if you're in those regions. All right, looking in the southeast at temperatures, we've got beautiful weather over here in East Texas. It's like 60 degrees right now, and it's getting dark. But it is cool up here in eastern Tennessee and western North Carolina. South Carolina's sitting in the upper 30s. And then tomorrow's looking like a pretty beautiful day for fishing, if you ask me. 50s and 60s throughout the whole region. So get out there tomorrow and fish, even if there's a little bit of rain. And then on Sunday, let's see, kind of the same thing. Yeah, it's a little bit cooler on Sunday, but still really nice weather, 50s and 60s. So guys, get out there and fish. The weather's going to be great. Let's look at precipitation in the region. We know we got the storm system moving in. All right, back it up. All right, so right now there's nothing, but as we move into Saturday, that thing's coming out of Texas, and it's going to start raining all through here in Mississippi, Louisiana, and then that's just going to move east, and it is going to form a nice line of storms as it moves east. It's going to build a little bit of strength out of the Gulf here. And so that's where you're going to see a possibility of some tornadoes here in the Florida Panhandle and northern Florida. Like I said, it's a very slight chance, but you just want to keep your weather radio on just in case. And if you're out there fishing, definitely keep a close eye on the weather on your apps on your phone or whatever. Keep a radio on just to be safe out there, guys. Like I said, this rain's going to make for some great fishing in South Carolina, so super excited to watch that on Sunday. Quick look at our winds here in the southeast. Kind of the same story as the south there. We are going to have some strong gusty winds on Saturday. So the guys that are in that tournament, it's mostly going to be in the morning, and it's going to peter out as you go towards the evening. And then once again on Sunday, kind of the same story. It's actually going to be, in South Carolina, it's going to be actually pretty nice on Sunday. It should be a really, really good day for fishing. The rest of the region is going to see quite a bit of gusty winds. So if you're out there, just kind of stay in a protected area. Don't get out in the main body of water. Just watch your weather, like we keep saying. And then that's going to push through Sunday night and into Monday. So by the time that system gets there, it should be pretty much over the tournament. So just keep your eyes peeled to the weather. Keep your life jacket on if you're out there in those windy conditions. All right, a quick recap of our baits of the week. For pre-spawn areas, we're looking at the Picasso Titanium Pro Spinnerbait. Guys, this is the new killer for spinnerbaits. It's got the free swinging head, titanium wire. This is going to be an awesome bait. I know a lot of guys don't have it yet. I don't even have one yet, but looking to get one soon. The Congo craw and spawn areas on beds for sure, and then you can just flip this thing around or swim it even. in areas where there's post-spawn and pre-spawn fish, you're definitely going to catch a few fish with it. It has all kinds of crazy action. And if you want to lessen the action, you can peel off a couple of these claws. I actually use this on a hardhead with these 2 claws removed, and then just have these 2 little kickers, and this thing is a killer. I actually caught walleye on it last year, if you can believe that. And then in the winter areas where we're at, we're going to be throwing this little Googan Snacky Swimmer. It's a 2.5-inch little fat impact bait. Not a fat impact because you know that's Kitech, but it's kind of the same kind of style of bait, but it's only 2.5 inches, so super small, fits really good on this Coolbaits Underspin Head. Just throw that around on any kind of rocky banks, steep banks where they winter at, fish it really slow, fish it on forward-facing sonar, and the bass are this is going to be irresistible to them, to be honest. So pick one up if you don't have them, or any other small little tiny swim bait would work really good, but a little tiny underspin with a little tiny swim bait, just a way to get bites this time of year, guys. All right, guys, that is your weekend update. Drop a comment with your lake and conditions so we can feature it next week on the weekly update. And don't forget, we are pushing for 500 subscribers. If you want to stay ahead of the bite every week, just hit that subscribe button and also like the video. And then don't forget to turn on notifications so you can get notified of when the video drops, because these are timely videos. I know YouTube doesn't like to push them out for the first couple days, so if you click the bell, it'll show up right there in your inbox. You can see it right away so you can get the weather as fast as possible for your fishing. I'll see you next time at the Bass Prediction Center where weather science and bass fishing meet. Have a good day, guys.